Hi. Good morning. I'm just getting myself together. Plug this flat iron in. We've got energy. We've got protein. Let's get ready. Say good morning in the comments. Let me know you're here. I've got these very chunky nails on. They're probably going to tangle all in my hair, but we'll see. We're going to try. So, I've got a very cute outfit picked out. It's brand new and I'm super excited to wear it. Today, we are going to a... Do you know what ROTC is? So, my daughter is the commander at her school, her ROTC program. She's a senior. And today is her very last competition, which, if you don't have ROTC Nerd Kid, you probably didn't know they have competitions, but they do. But since she'll be graduating after this, it's her last one, and she's commanding. She's the battalion commander. She's top dog. The only person who ranks higher is the teacher. Very fancy girl. So schools, they all get together and they compete in whatever. Hi, Danny. And so we're going to be doing that this morning. I'm looking forward to that. I'm very proud of her. And then this evening, I have a YouTube thing. I've got a YouTube friend in my area who I sometimes assist them with their production because they do a big like YouTube show, and there's like a command station, like a control board that has to be run by staff because he's the host of the show. And so I've been learning a lot about that by being kind of like an intern. So I'll be doing that this evening. That's pretty fun. definitely not the type of content I make. It's much grander of a scale, but it's very cool. I have a mirror right there, so that's what I'm looking at. So we're going to do flat iron curls, and so that's when you use a flat iron instead of a curly iron, and it makes loose, soft curls. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for today, because the outfit is a pinstriped jumpsuit with like a tube top, so it's just like here down, and there's like fancy little buttons, and then I've got this jacket with rhinestones down the sleeve. It's like business but glamorous. So we're gonna put that on too. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for liking my live stream. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, definitely I recommend it. I do mostly short form content here on this channel, but a lot of it will be like clothes related, food related, reviews, things like that. I do side hustle content. I have one child. I have one child. It is a daughter, and she's going to be 18 years old this month. So not much of a child. How about you? Do you have children? But definitely subscribe. Chances are you will enjoy some of the videos that I do make. And because they're short form, they only take a few seconds to watch them. This channel doesn't have a lot of long form content on it. There is the possibility that it could crop up, like I did a review on a hair tool one time, but that's not really the main intent of this channel. Mostly short form, occasionally a live stream, which is what we're doing here. We'll hang out. 4, huh? Wow. Hi, Farpoint Station. I actually just turned 39 years old in January. How old are your kids, Danny? Farpoint Station, I weigh 135 pounds. Technically this morning I weigh 134 pounds, but you know, it waffles a little bit. If you guys don't know my history, I actually used to weigh 350 pounds a few years back, but we had to make some changes. We had to get our life on track. There is a video that goes in depth about that process on my other channel because it was before I made this one. So, you know, the links for all that are in the description and on my page and whatever. If you want to look at that, it's over there. But I do make some weight loss related content over here because I am the expert. You have one 7-year-old, Danny? What's the youngest and what's the oldest? I don't model. I don't live in an area where modeling is a career option. Not that I'm that type of girl. I'm a super nerd. In here. have some of this. So, y'all get your caffeine. It's not good for you, but it's great. Lots of vitamins. Make sure you stay healthy. All right, our iron is hot. You don't know how old your oldest and youngest children are? You said you have 4 of them, right? But only one of them is 7? That's how you make a curling iron curl. It's the same concept as making ribbons curly with scissors like we used to do as kids in school. But hot. You gotta be careful. Burn your hands if you're not. I am real good at burning my hands. So I move slow when I'm putting that hotness near my hand. Curling my hair while I get ready for all of these fun things that I'm doing today that we briefly discussed. You know, the little school competition and the YouTube thing later. In the middle of the day, I have a little bit of downtime. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing during that time. Probably working on my own production. I've changed my formatting and my editing style for my nails channel. And yesterday I did the first one under the new style, and it took me 5 hours to edit because it's so much more complex and intensive than what I usually do. But I'm hoping with the investment of time and effort, there will be a better return, because that channel is pretty big. Not like, you know, celebrity YouTube, but it's much bigger than this one, but it's kind of stagnant. And so I'm trying to get it back on the growth path. And so we've got to make some changes, as you do. And so potentially today, in the middle of the day when I have a little bit of downtime, I might work on another video. I try to record them in advance wherever possible. That way I have a little bit of flexibility with my schedule, because sometimes I like to do other things on weekends. So I may look on my calendar and see what can I do now for later that's not time sensitive, and then work on that. So that's probably the wisest use of my time. What are you doing today? Hi to anyone else who is here. Definitely say hello in the comments so that I can see you. It gives me a count number of who or of how many people's here, but I don't think it's accurate. So say hi and I'll know you're here. Let's go the other direction with this one. It's good when you're curling your hair to alternate the directions you're going at least some of the time, because natural curls don't all grow the same direction. It gives a more natural appearance when you alternate, but also it keeps the curls from all going together and becoming like one homogeneous super curl. And so it helps to keep them a little bit more separate, which is good. And then once you do get your curls in, you want to give them a moment to cool. That way they lock that curl setting in before you start touching them. If you start pulling on them and trying to adjust the way that they're laying while it's still hot, you can cause your curls to just stretch out. And they're already going to stretch and loosen as you go through the day just because of gravity. And if you've got soft hair texture like me, it's not that good at holding curls anyway. So I'm going to let these cool while I'm doing this side. The back at the bottom we haven't done anything with, but then once they do, I'm going to start, separating them a little bit and give them just the tiniest amount of hairspray to help hold them throughout the day so they don't completely straighten out by the end of the day. If you know much about hair, then you can tell by the color of my eyebrows and the color of the hair on my arms, this is not the color my hair grows, and therefore it does not have the texture of this color hair. I have very fine, very soft blonde hair, and so it's thin, it's delicate, but it is not good at holding shape. So we must use our knowledge to overcome our challenges, which is a great lesson for all aspects of life. In life, we run across difficulties all the time. That's not unusual. And we've got to use our brains to figure out how to get over those difficulties, right? Luckily, we live in an era of the internet where we are more connected and have more access to knowledge than any other time in history. So you can learn anything on the internet, like anything. There's very little that you can't learn. So if you come into a challenge that you don't know what to do about, there's a good chance someone on the internet knows. And in this time, we're able to research that particular topic and find out all kinds of stuff. And then tailor our choices and actions towards the result that we desire instead of being stuck, ignorant, and unable to help ourselves. I'm just old enough that I missed the era of growing up on the internet, so I didn't have all of the beauty information and resources when I was a young person, and I didn't have a female figure in my life to teach me, so it took me into my adulthood to figure out hair and makeup and clothes and all that stuff. So I'm still kind of meh at it. I'm very much a millennial, so manage your expectations towards that. Hi, Carissa. So we're doing hair, we're gonna do makeup, and I've got an outfit. I'm very excited about the outfit. It's a tube top pinstripe jumpsuit. It's new. I haven't worn it yet, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Currently, in Tulsa, it's 35 degrees Fahrenheit with partly cloudy skies. Today,
my life. I was just scared by the Alexa. She's always jumping in my business, but I was not expecting her to start talking. Did you see my soul leave my body just now? Because I felt it. Yeah, we're getting ready. I've got an action-packed day. And we're doing flat iron curls because the curl pattern is different than that of what you would get with a curling iron. And I'm going for the softer, looser, wavier curls today. How are you? What have you got going today? give these a little. We only need the littlest amount of hairspray as we go. That way it can kind of help these curls lock in a little bit of structural integrity, but I don't like to use very much because I don't want hard hair, I don't want crunchy hair, and I don't want it to stick together. So we're gonna use it responsibly. And then hopefully by the time we get it all in here, it'll be cute. I can see that this side, the curl's a little bit more curved out than this side, but that's okay because they're gonna get what they get. Thank you. OMG, why am I dancing? Let me tell you. So I'm a nail polish addict, and on my main YouTube channel, I do nails. So this is what I've got going currently. They are very textured. These snaggle a lot in the hair. So I have almost 1,200 bottles of nail polish. So I've got this wall, and then there's another one here, and then they're actually all along the walls up around here, and they go over there. There's so much nail polish, but I love it. It's beautiful. It's my type of art. So like some people want to look at a painting on their wall. I have the paint, and it's gorgeous. You will see I get very excited about nail polish. Thank you. I can talk about nails all day, every day. That's how addiction works. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. In the description, I have the links to my socials and stuff. There's a matching social for like all the platforms or whatever for Megan Makes It and for my nail channel, Secret Devil YT. So if you like nails, definitely follow me on those because I post nails every day. I change my nails multiple times a week, and I do all kinds of cool stuff, and sometimes I do nail live streams in addition to videos, and there's a bunch of videos because I've been doing that channel for a long time. And on top of that, I specialize in regular nail polish, not gel, not acrylic, just regular nail polish. And I can do really incredible things most people cannot because it's harder with regular nail polish. But because I like regular nail polish, I like the characteristics of regular nail polish, and I learned a while back when I was learning to do nails that I'm allergic to gel polish, not even builder gels. But because of that, I never honed my skills of art with gel. It's easier to do it with gel. Plenty of people can, but because I'm a nail polish specialist, I had to learn to do those same things with regular nail polish. But I have made it where a lot of the same stuff can be done, and I know how to do it. So like these, this is not gel, not gel. This is all regular nail polish. The extensions are like, you know, the full cover pre-made kind, but all this paint and all these decorations, regular nail polish. Ooh, my favorite theme. Spitting chips. Yes, so I used to weigh 350 pounds. I currently weigh 135 pounds. That's where I like it. And so I keep myself about that range. I do have a little bit of loose skin, but not near as much as some people. So I am grateful that mine is minimal, especially with that much weight loss. There's actually a video about that on my other channel because I made it before I created this channel. So if you want to deep dive into my story and how I did it, it's all over there. It's about an hour-long video. Like, it goes in deep with photos that go all the way back, and we talk about the process. There's science, there's nerd stuff, because I'm a massive nerd. So that's over there. But my favorite theme, so I am a spooky bitch. It is Halloween in my heart all year round. So I often make nails with my aesthetic. I like a little spook factor, a little edge. But I'm also a sucker for a sparkle because I'm a girly girl also. So like, let me put a little scary on here, but all kinds of glitter. So this is one of my favorite products. I know this is not a nail channel, but I'm gonna tell you. This is for rhinestones only. It's made by China Glaze, and it's an air dry top coat type of product. And so you use this to adhere them, and it air dries as you go, which is one of the things I like, so that your decorations aren't sliding away while you're still trying to get everything in place, because you're working in sections and it's drying. And then I go around everything and just reinforce all of the edges. And then by the time it's dry, like, they just stay. I don't lose my charms unless like I snag them on something and rip them off. So there's been occasions where like I'll snag them on my pants or something and rip one off if it's particularly chunky. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't hurt because it's on top of extensions, but you can feel it, like the pressure of it pulling loose. It's a good product. I buy them like in 5 at a time because I use a lot. I change my nails constantly. Yep. I like China Glaze products. I wish they were still like a bigger name in the nail polish game. It looks like they're kind of fading out into obscurity. Like, they rarely make new polishes anymore, which is fine because God knows I don't need any more. But like, even to get the 4 rhinestones only, you have to kind of go out of your way. Like, you can get it on their website. Sometimes you can get it on Amazon, but I've never seen it in a store. And maybe that's because most people prefer gel. And so they don't even think about the population who might want that product. But what I am hoping, with me specializing in regular nail polish, is that I will be able to show regular nail polish girlies that you too can do these things, because you can. And a lot of people think that if you're not working with gel, you can't do anything fancy, but that is not the case. Yeah, I also love Holo Taco. So that's my Holo Taco wall up here. Love Holo Taco. They're chunky glitters with the squares, my favorite formula. And then the crushed hollow is my second favorite formula. But it is amazing that Holo Taco was able to find something to make them unique with how many nail polish makers there are and how much nail polish already exists, and yet they still come out with things that are unlike anything I already have in a collection this massive. And I have a small collection compared to some YouTubers, but man, I am a fan. Their new collection, the Valentine's one, I've got some in my cart. I haven't decided to pull the trigger because I literally just got a shipment the other day from my birthday. So I'm like, let me just wait, God, because do I really need a cat eye in pink? I probably have 7, you know? So I need to look at what I already have, but I haven't done it yet. I've been on the Simply Nailogical train for a very long time as well. I do miss when she did her regular format videos. I know she's mostly live stream because she enjoys the interaction and all that, but I just don't have that kind of flexibility in my schedule to attend them. And so I have to watch them once they're, you know, cut down into videos, and that's fine. But I did enjoy her old type videos where she would do like fun and crazy things and then do her little nail polish tutorials, because it's the very same thing. She did cool stuff with regular nail polish. I think she's the first person I saw do water marbling, which she's not that good at it, but neither am I. Yes, I'm also that bad influence though. I am. I'm like, hey, did you see this very pretty and cool nail polish? Sure, yeah, of course you need it. You know, like Polish Pickup and Hella Handmade Creations and all that stuff. I have had to forbid myself from even looking at those websites because that is a rabbit hole of bad decisions. Don't give me a place I can buy 20 different brands of nail polish at once. That's a problem. Oh, yeah? Where are you from? Doesn't Holo Taco ship internationally? I think they do, but I bet it's outrageous in this day. Sorry, everybody who's also watching that doesn't care about nail polish. I get very excited. But we're still doing what we came here to do. We're doing hair, we're doing makeup, and we're doing clothes. Japan. That's a very fashion-forward place. I like that. Do they get Holo Taco there? I don't feel like I've ever heard that they do. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I really don't know why they wouldn't. Unless it's just not a big nail polish culture. Which I know Japan loves their beauty products. But I don't know if that extends to nail polish. Nailholic. Well, I mean, I guess there must be a population for it then. No Holo Taco. Nah, that's not good, but it's fine. I'm sure there's plenty of beautiful options available. And really, if you were desperate, there's ways. Like, I am certainly no expert, but I do have some international nail friends. And I have learned that there is like a service that you can get here where you get a US shipping address and then it forwards it to you wherever you're at. But I imagine something like that is probably expensive. Is it? It's huge? Well, that's good to know. What are the like trendiest or most popular nail styles in Japan currently? You know, trends change constantly. Every time you decide to do a nail trend, there's something new and you're like, well, I missed that boat. Like the bangle nails, those were super popular like last month, very recently. I want to try some, but I've not had a chance yet. And so now I'm like, well, Harajuku nails or Gayaru fashion nails. I am going to try and remember to look that up because I am very interested. I want to know. Chunky nails, let me tell you, one of my favorite nail designs is junk nails. You know, when you put a gazillion charms and stuff on there and it's just the whole nail is stuff. Love. Love. I did Christmas junk nails and I did Halloween junk nails there on the nail channel. So pretty. Such an obstruction. So because I wear chunky nails, I have to wear gloves whenever I wash my hair, which most people don't shower with gloves on, but I do. Otherwise, it just tangles in your hair. I'm very much a maximalist with my aesthetic of nails. Charms and glitters and patterns. Yeah, so like over here, I've got decals, I've got roses. These two nails being plain was me controlling myself. But as you can see, I ain't control nothing over here. Every nail is always different. I do the most, like whenever I think about back in the day, you know, when I first started painting my nails and what the casual nail person does, one color of polish, I could not. I can't. Like, I do swatches sometimes and it already kills me because I'm like, the idea of not having different nail designs, I'm like, what kind of savagery is this? Like, at least let me have an accent nail. But yeah, I can't. The too much gene is definitely a battle that I have. I gotta try and talk myself off a ledge sometimes when I've got plenty of stuff going on and I'm like, but what else can I add? And I'm like, stop it, simmer down. Like, you don't need to keep adding things. But that's me. Yes, yes, I did also make aquarium nails one time, not on my hand, but I did make some on press-ons because I wanted to do it too. I want to see what I can do. They were Christmassy, and so the front of it was like painted with frost, and then the back of the inside I made like a snowman or whatever. And then there was some icicle ones. But yes, aquarium nails are very cool to look at. But because they're so thick this way, and like you need kind of a good amount of length, otherwise you ain't getting much in there, they don't seem super practical. And then like I can use nails that are this thin functionally, you know, I can get this in my hair and stuff. But if it's like a chunk of, what am I doing with that? You know, with a blunt end, beautiful for looking at, not so much for living. Though on occasion, when I'm like on vacation, I don't have to work, I'll put on some super long, cool shaped nails. I love extreme nail shapes, but I type at work. And so this is the longest that I can functionally get away with and be able to type. And sometimes my nails slip down between the keys and I have to like yank them out of there. That's a very good point, because that's typically oil in there and it would probably ruin your clothes. You know, when you get like cooking oil on your clothes, it does not come out. That would upset me. Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder how many people have broken one of their aquariums and ruined their outfit. Oh, I bet that's a really unpleasant sound. Like, ah! Students be like, what are you doing? That's funny. Ugh, my brain. I lost my brush because it was over there. I can't see back here, so this is the part of my head that I have to do by feel and hope for the best. Ha! ASMR, exactly. Like, hey guys, close your eyes. We're about to relax. And then they're like, that's the ultimate troll. And if you're not trolling children, what are you even doing with your life? That's what they're for. I say it all the time. One of my favorite hobbies is trolling my daughter. I like to tell her crazy stuff just to get giggles. I'm looking in this mirror, sorta, but I can't hardly see because it's behind me. Ah, dang it. This side fell down and just joined in with what I had already curled. I don't appreciate that. Get out of there. Stay on your side. This is the problem with not being able to see what you're doing. I hope I get it all. I hope I don't have straight areas back here. That's right. When my daughter was little, I had her convinced that I was a cyborg. Yeah, and I told her that the evidence is, you know, my piercings and whatever. Because I'm like, yeah, it's when you have, you know, replaced metal body parts, which I don't. You know, obviously cyborgs are not real. But she was little. So I had her convinced, and there would be like a whole backstory and stuff. And I had this one friend, I don't know, it was eating him alive that I was just telling her this mess. And so he always kept trying to expose me and tell her that I'm lying. And I'm like, first of all, stop ruining my fun. And I would have to come up with more and more elaborate lies to cover up his counter arguments. But it was so funny. And then she got old enough to realize that it is a lie. I also used to lie to her about the boogeyman and how he lived in Boogie Land. And there was a whole story of how he acted. That's exactly right. Let them know that we adults are also weirdos. It's fun. Yes. I'm like, why aren't you lying to your children? That's what it's for. Like, tell them the stuff that's important, but also, like, all kids are lied to by their parents. All kids grow up with these strange beliefs and notions that nobody ever thinks about until you get together as adults and you're like, yeah, I used to think blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what? And it's because your parents tell you all kinds of crazy stuff, and some of it just lives with you. But it's great. I think it gives you spice. It gives you something to think about when you're older, when you look back on it and you're like, ha ha ha, that's so crazy. Let me tell my kids. Tradition. That's how traditions are born. Whew. All right. My belly is getting pretty full. I finished that cup of energy drink. I'm going to try and keep this section from joining its partner. Is this still on? Yeah. Sometimes I feel like my iron stops being as hot because it stops doing as good of a job as making a curl. And so I wonder if it's just because I'm moving too quickly. Yeah, some of it's curly, but some of it tries to be resistant, but I think that one came out okay. Thank you for subscribing. I do make mostly short form content on this channel. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about that, but I do beauty stuff sometimes. I do food stuff sometimes. I do a little bit of side hustle stuff because I've got a bunch of like jobs. And so I like to share the knowledge for anybody who's looking, but also I like to have a good time. So anything that's not nail related, that's what I put over here. Alrighty, it's the butt crack early for me, so I'm just getting started. But have a great night and sleep well. Get your rest. Gotta get it when you can. I will definitely look that up. Thanks for coming by and chatting with me. Feel free to hit me up anytime. Getting down through there, it's coming along. Thank you so much. I will see you later. We've only got one section left, guys. Actually, let me not put that away yet because we might need it. Ah! So hello to anybody else who is here. Please feel free to say hello in the chat. I know that it's been a little bit quiet for some of y'all, but that's okay. Like if you're just here to watch and you don't feel like talking, that's totally fine. But if you do want to say hello, please do. I can't see who's here. I can only see that there's a number when there are people here, but I think sometimes it's not even right. So definitely say hello. Let's talk. As you saw, I am a chatty one when given the opportunity. Yeah. Let's just work our way through this last section. It's not a whole bunch. We'll be done with the hair pretty quickly, and then we'll be moving on to makeup. I've got to leave my house by like 8:15. What time is it now? 7:40. So we don't have a long time. Gotta get this show on the road. Luckily, I don't do a lot of makeup, mostly just eyes, so that part won't take that long. But I'm very much looking forward to the outfit. How about you? Yeah. That curl did a weird thing, but it's fine. It's fine. Gotta let them cool a little bit before we put them where they go and separate them. Hello, hello. If you just came in, please do like my live stream. The algorithm thanks you and so do I. And if you haven't had a chance, please do subscribe to my channel. I make some cool short form content, so you can have a look at that. And that'll come up in your feed going forward if you're subscribed. I don't do a lot of live streams over here, but if you can catch me when I do, I always love to have you come and sit and hang out and chill. Or you can catch me on my other channel for my nail live streams. I do those every week, usually on the weekends. I'm doing one tomorrow over there, but it's bigger and longer and has a nail tutorial and all that good stuff. All right, let's turn that off. Unplug. Alright, move these out the way. I'll have to go put those up here in a second. I gotta give these curls just a moment to cool off. We don't want to start pulling on them too much. Try not to burn anything with that while they cool, because it'll stretch them out. And I don't really want to do that. And then when I run these chunky bad boys through them, they're gonna tangle and pull. So we're gonna try not to mess them up. They're still a little bit warm, not too bad. All right, so here's how we're gonna do this. You just get it all kind of going backwards, and then get us a area to separate. And then I try to use my fingers in a comb fashion so that it's not pulling on them too much, but it separates them a little bit and helps them to smoothly fall together at the top. There we go. Gotta get them shaped the way we want them. Pull these loose ones out. All right. All right, I'm gonna a little bit, and then a little bit. Got hairs everywhere. Hi, Jasmine, how are you? I think that looks okay. Not too crazy. Make sure the ends are good. Sometimes I get these wild ones that don't want to be a part of the curl and they just stick out on their own, but that's all right. That'll do, I think. I'll have to check for any needed adjustments here later. This one's also trying to be a problem child. There we go. Just stick it behind. Let's get the makeup going. So I have this cabinet over here where I put all my makeups. Let's get some stuff. We need mascara. We need an eyebrow pencil. Not that I'm a professional at eyebrows or anything. Eyeshadow guides. Eyeshadow primer. If you're not aware of eyeshadow primer, it is a must-have game changer for eyeshadow. So definitely a good eyeshadow primer is a resource. Now, I like to get a bunch of brushes, even though I'm only going to use 3 of them. It makes me feel better to have the options. So I just bring quite a few. Makeup wipes for the cleanup work. And that's kind of the extent of makeup I do. I don't really do much foundation or anything like that unless it's a special occasion that I need it, but mostly I feel like with my aged skin, it just makes me look more wrinkly. That's not the look I'm going for. Plus, it gets everywhere. Everything I touch my face to, it sticks to, and I don't like that. So, I don't really do that. And sometimes I put on lipstick. I have quite a few of them, and they're very beautiful, but as you know, lipstick wears off. If it's part of the outfit, I'll do it, but mostly I just put on some chapstick. So these are an asset also. I cannot paint or draw a wing to save my life. So eyeshadow guides let me simulate a wing. It is a hack. So I get my little wipe here ready. I'm gonna put that to the side because I'm gonna need that in a bit. First, eyeshadow primer. We gotta put this on here and let it dry a little bit. Not all eyeshadow primers are created equally. So you want one that dries matte and isn't greasy. Using like a concealer is not the same thing. I know a lot of people like to put concealer up here, but concealer works like a bad eyeshadow primer. It's not going to protect your eyeshadow from creasing. In fact, more often than not, it will cause it to crease when it otherwise may not have. The point of eyeshadow primer is two things. The first thing is it gives you a tacky surface for your pigment to stick to, so you get a better color payoff, but also it creates a barrier between your skin and the eyeshadow itself, so that the oils that come through don't cause your eyeshadow to roll up. And if your eyeshadow primer is not a good one, it won't prevent that from happening, and then your creases will be full of color, but then like everywhere else will be patchy or falling off. And so a good eyeshadow primer is a must-have. This one is super, super cheap. I had to do some experimenting with some different ones because my favorite one ran out, and I was like, what can I get easily and affordably? And so I got a couple different ones, but this one, it's like $4 and it's amazing. So I recommend Wet n Wild. I think you can get it from Walmart, but I think I got that one on Amazon. It's very good. So I put it on. I keep my eyebrows lifted up a little bit to kind of keep this area smooth because I have hooded eyes, and so I want it to be open while it dries. It only takes a few seconds though. And then we're gonna put these. So they're stickers and they're perforated here. I only peel off this top part because that's the part we're gonna stick to our skin. This part, the backing can stay on because it doesn't need to. And bam, 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 bam. One of the great talents of putting these on is getting them even so your wings aren't like wonky. I'm not very good at that, but I try my best. I'm gonna try and get them even. And if you get them positioned just right, you can get a smooth wing. What happens to me though is this crack here comes down pretty far, and so if I get it to where it goes across that, then sometimes after I take it off, like you'll see it's coming up, but then the eyeshadow will do like a dip in the way that it looks because of where the eyelid is like fatter here and then dips in there. So like it'll be a straight line, but the way that it appears to curve around that puffy part makes it look curvy. And so that's a consequence that I sometimes live with. I've thought about like, what if I get liposuction for my fat eyelids? But that seems kind of extreme, so we'll just live with these eyes. So I'm gonna try and get these on here as straight as I can. I try to hold them where I want it and look, and then come in and press it down. I'm gonna get it all the way smooth so that the powder does not get pushed up underneath there. And so if I can get them to match, then this is where my wing will go. And then hopefully this won't be too much of a dip, even though it looks like it's probably going to. And then after I do this part. So like this is under here, but this is not for purposes. It's really only for here to here. Give me a good line. Which I'm gonna show you how I do all that with eyeshadow. All right, let me get this other side, and we're gonna try and make it even. We're gonna try. So I look at it straight to try and get an idea of where it's at, and then hopefully, sometimes I've made them really wonky and had to peel it off and try again, but the more you peel it off, the less sticky it is. I feel like this one's slightly higher, but I'm gonna live with it. I try to like maybe aim for the end of my eyebrow to give me like a 2-point area to aim, but this one you can see comes down a little further than the end of my eyebrow, and this one not so much. So they're not straight, but whatever. I start with a brush like this. This is how I put the black outer corner on. I dip it in my eyeshadow. That's the most used eyeshadow. There's barely any left, while the others are mostly full. And then we just start doing this. And we'll go back and forth from eye to eye, making sure that they are similar until we're satisfied with the wingy bit we have. See? Because of my eye shape, that's how it does. Yeah, I like to keep working on it, keep checking to try and see how it looks and make adjustments. Trying to make this side match is hard because I have to use my arm to support this, but it makes the angle at which I am brushing different than it is on the other side because of the way that I hold my hands on this side versus that side. So like, you can see where this one goes. That one's not even similar yet. So we gotta keep adding and trying to work on the angle at which we are brushing to try and get the very point of it the same distance from the eyebrow on both sides. That way, hopefully, the wings come out similar. And see how it curves? It's like, it's a straight line, but when I open my eye, it's not. And this side's a little blurrier. I'm gonna try and crispen that up. Now, I'm gonna close my eyes. As you can see, the angle at which this side and this side are not exactly the same. And that's one of the struggles with only being able to look at one eye at a time. You gotta kind of just do your best. Let's see. I feel like this one, it's only about a brush width, but this side, I feel like it needs a little more, little more. Is that similar? Maybe. I think so. All right, I'm gonna put that down for now. Let me get this flat one. Hi, John. No, my hair has not always been this length. I've had hair long enough that it's down to my ass, and I've had it be shorter than this. This is actually a little short for what I prefer. I like it to be about right here, but when I got it cut recently, they made it a little shorter than I would have asked for. Whatever, we live. I think we're gonna go for a silver because my outfit has some rhinestones on it. So we're gonna use this flat brush to pat on the lid. That way we can pack that pigment on there and it sticks to that eyeshadow primer. That way we get a good color payoff. And then I get a little bit more and I'm gonna rub these together, and that's how we kind of blend the black corner to the silver or whatever color we're doing. Yeah. Now let's do the other side. Sorry, when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm not looking right there. All right, and then I take this little fluffy brush and I just kind of rub it in the crease here to try and drag some of that black in here to give a little contour and depth to my eye socket. Not that you can really see it when my eye is open, but when I close it, you kind of can. And so that's kind of just how I do that. Now here is the magic part. The whole point of these eyeshadow guides. When we peel them off, we have a wing. That doesn't feel wonderful, so peel slow. And then I use this makeup wipe to like clean up this area before we put the liner. Because like that process does create a little bit of spillage down there, but that's okay. It's just how I do it. If you can do a wing without doing all that, that's better, but I cannot. All right, so I let that dry. But here's how the wings are looking. And then I'm gonna use this brush. It's kind of a thin, flat one. It's gotten fat over the periods of use. But I use this to dip it in the same black eyeshadow, and that's how I make my liner. I find that when I use an actual eyeliner, it runs off in these cracks a lot more, but a powder stays better. So that's why I use that. And if I put it on too thick, use the makeup wipe, clean it up a little bit. So we're gonna do this. I do like pull my eye down a little bit so that I can get on this water line. It's a fluffy brush, so sometimes you'll fling eyeshadow all in your eye. Don't do that. Yep, and then get some more and go over here. This is where it gets the most watery, and so you gotta have a good amount of it. And then I try to like get up in here to make this more seamless. Like that. It is a little blurry here, so I'm gonna add a little bit more, and then I'll probably use my makeup wipe to crispen that line. You can do as thick or as thin of this as you like. I will assess if I like this thickness once I get it on here, because I can thin it. Most people put mascara on with their eye open. I put eye with their mouth open. I put my eyeshadow on with my mouth open. All right, let's see if we can get a blend going. All right, so that's what we have. Now we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna look at this in the mirror, and we're gonna try and even everything up. So like right here, it's too thick. We're gonna make a match. I feel like this one's a little bit thick still. Over here. Does that look even? I think maybe. Yeah. Okay. So that's that for the eyeshadow. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Now, I don't know how to do eyebrows. So here's what I do. I take this pencil and I just kind of do like this, because we're making a shadow, really, since my eyebrows are kind of light. This makes them look more dark. And then I use the spoolie to, brush that through so it diffuses it a little bit, blends it. We don't want harsh lines because I'm not drawing eyebrows. I have eyebrows. I'm just shading them in behind. That's just kind of how I do that. It makes them more similar to my hair and more visible. And then mascara. So this is one thing that I can do individually, like so hand, and then I switch hands. Here's how I do it. I'm going to try really hard not to blink, because if I blink while I'm doing this, it gets everywhere. I stabilize on my cheek and move slowly. It's usually when I get over here to this inner corner that it becomes a problem, because if I get too close and touch my actual eyelid, that's what causes me to blink. There we go. I try to do the best I can with this because I don't wear fake lashes, so this is all that I get. I gotta do what I can. But I don't like fake lashes because I can see them, and I don't like the way they feel. I suppose you get used to it after a while. Like, my daughter loves them, but I can't. There we go. So that's that for the makeup. Hi, is it Angel? Yeah, Angel Gonzalez. Hello, how are you? We finished the hair. We have just completed the makeup. We put these items away, and then we'll be ready for the clothes. You guys excited for the outfit? I am. Okay, let me show you the outfit. So it starts with this. It's like that. It's a jumpsuit, super cute. And then there's this jacket, And it's got rhinestones on the sleeve. So that's what we're gonna put on. One moment. As you can imagine with the type of top it is, I gotta wear the right undergarments too. I'm gonna go right here. So, you can hear me, I can see you. Let's get dressed. I've got about, we gotta hurry up. About 10 minutes, and then I need to leave my house. But luckily, we're down to just outfit and then shoes. I've got some little black ankle boots that I'm planning on putting on underneath these pants. Goodness. Y'all ever be trying to work on these hooks behind your back? That's how I do it. There we go. We got it. These roses on my nails are scratching my skin a little bit. But that's okay. That's the price I pay because it's what I wanted to have on my hands. I haven't even picked out jewelry. If I have time, I will, but it's not super important. All right. It is early in the morning. I haven't eaten too much, so my stomach should look okay in this because I'm not putting anything on underneath it. At least I'm not planning to, so. Let's see. Hang on, gotta get this zipper. Y'all be trying to zip stuff behind your back? Because I do. All right. We are in it. So here's the outfit. Here's how my stomach looks. Like, I don't know. Should I put some shorts under here? I feel like it would help. Because kind of, but like, I don't know. I think it's okay, right? I think it looks okay, probably. How's this? Cute? How's the back? Let me look in this mirror over here. I just got this outfit, so it's new. Definitely gonna need those boots. My legs is too short. Yeah, I think it's okay. All right, let's get the jacket and see how that looks. So many tags. These things did not come together, but I want to wear them. I think they will go well together. So, let's see. Got this big fancy button. Ew, there's shoulder pads in here. I'm gonna remove those because I don't like a square shoulder. Yuck. Overall, I think that's cute. Let me take these shoulder pads out. Are you a fan of shoulder pads? Let me know. I am not. Dang, why are they connected so well? I was gonna try and cut them out if they just had like one seam, but these are like really in there. I don't want that though. Get out of here. I think that was on it. Let's try it now. My rose scratched me. I'm not that strong. That's an illusion, but they're just thread. I can rip thread. Let's see what we have now. Let's see. Thank you. All right, what do you think of the outfit? Ooh, I hit my flat iron. I'm gonna have to put my flat iron stuff away later. He's cute. Yeah. Doing all right. Let me check on these curls real quick. Got a couple of wild ones. Let me just add a little bit more hairspray on this side to try and keep these where they are. Guess we'll put some over here too. Because I don't want these like flying around. When I go outside, the wind is probably going to do me real dirty. But I'll clean all that up when I get back. Let me get the shoes. So these are the ones I want to go for. They're like this fabric. I think that will be cute. Hi, Exotica. We're here at the end. I gotta get ready to run out of the house. I don't know how I have so severely underestimated the amount of time this was gonna take me. Maybe it was because I was talking and running my mouth. I need to keep going. Get out of there, flower. All right, all right, all right. We got one shoe on. Let me get the other shoe. I'm going to have to switch purses so that I have the fancy one to go with the outfit. I think we've done a good outfit here, guys. What do you think? All right, shoes on. Let's check the length. I hope I don't step in any puddles because they're still very long and I am still very short-legged. I don't think, yeah, pulling it up isn't gonna do anything. But here's what I got. That's the fit. Here's the bag. Okay. All right, well, that is everything. I gotta go. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. And thanks for keeping me company. What time is it for me? It is 8:15 a.m. and I have to be at my daughter's competition. It starts at 9. So I gotta get out of here. Please subscribe if you haven't had a chance to. We do cool stuff here. Check out my nail channel. I do even cooler stuff over there. And thank you. I'll see you later.